Hello everyone, Andrew here, and welcome to today's random game of the day, which is Arkanoid, Doh It Again, or is it Do It Again? Because I mean, DOH, if Simpsons has taught me anything, definitely spells dough, but I mean, Do It Again obviously makes more sense, so I guess that's supposed to be the pun, I'm not entirely sure, but anyway, this is the sequel to the original Arkanoid, although this isn't technically it, because I mean, of course, it's not the arcade version, this is the Super Nintendo kind of adaptation of it, but I figured we haven't given Arkanoid any attention yet, so it's definitely a game that deserves to have a random game of the day. And I decided that we would play this version of it because this is actually quite a good version. I like the graphics. A whole bunch of things about it are actually really good. And the sequel did introduce a few features which were actually a lot of fun. So we have a whole bunch of stuff going on at the beginning here. And this is a great title screen. I mean, absolutely no music or anything. But overall, Arkanoid, a game I'm sure so many people out there are familiar with. So I'm not even going to bother introducing it. Let's just do one player and get on with this. And we have like an opening cutscene here. I mean, man, Arkanoid sure is advanced, and it gives these random time units that probably don't even make any sense at all, which makes them actually completely useless. It's just supposed to give you the kind of feel that you're in some kind of space sci-fi thing, and sensors are detecting a thing. So yeah, basically I guess the pun Doh is actually the boss of the game. Of the original Arkanoid. I mean, I'm sure that like 95% of the people out there are saying, Arkanoid had a boss of the game? It wasn't anything really special, just this kind of massive head in the middle of the screen, and you had to hit it enough times until it exploded. So it wasn't anything super great, but I'm guessing that Doh guy probably comes back, and that is why it is called Doh It Again. And our joy was short-lived, for some reason. And there is an outline of a head. I wonder what head that could be. Definitely not one that I was just talking about. But anyway, of course, the opening cutscene is not why we are here. We are here because we want to play Arkanoid. And overall, the opening music there was really awesome. I mean, like at the beginning of the level, but now the level has no music at all, which is always kind of a shame. I mean, why can't Arkanoid levels have music? I mean, I guess it wants you to hear the sound of the ball hitting against the blocks, which sound like they're made of metal, but overall, I mean, it really could have been cool if they actually added some music to it. So I guess I'm just going to have to really spew out the commentary here so that we don't have any moments of complete silence. Kind of like that. Just kind of ominous ball hitting blocks sound. But anyway, in Arkanoid, of course, we have a whole bunch of different power-ups. The one I have right now is obviously one of the greatest power-ups ever, which is the laser. And I don't know why you'd ever want to get like half the other power-ups if you have this. It pretty much just lets you shoot all the blocks to pieces, so you don't even need to worry about, you know, like perfectly aiming the ball so that it hits different things. So you just mash the A button like mad when you get that, and then kind of pay attention whenever the ball comes back down towards the bottom. That green one there had a C on it, which stands for catch. So whenever the ball hits the vase, as they call it, the thing at the bottom, it will stick to it, and it will not shoot off again until you press the A button, or probably the other buttons too. Yeah, A or X, whichever one you pick. Although, of course, there is lasers, so why the heck would you ever want catch when you can just spew lasers upwards and destroy all of the blocks that way? S right there will slow the ball down, which I mean is pretty good, but who cares about that when you have laser? Although I did get that M right there, because I believe that is a power-up that is new to Arkanoid 2. And that is, the ball now has the ability to kind of just pierce through all of the blocks, which is really neat. So instead of, you know, hitting a block and then bouncing off, it just goes through all of them just like that. And there you go, level 2 is down. And now at level 3, I actually don't remember how exactly that works when it comes to blocks like the silver and gold ones. So I believe the gold ones you can never actually break, although the silver ones, well, okay, so getting catch instantly made all of those disappear. I don't think it's like that in the arcade version. But yeah, the silver ones will disappear, I think, after like 3 hits, and I don't think the gold ones ever disappear. They're kind of just always going to be in your way, which kind of sucks. But yeah, so anyway, I don't believe in the arcade version. Yeah, so basically, we beat the level because we didn't have to destroy the gold ones because they are not able to be destroyed. I keep losing my train of thought. In the arcade version, when you get one power-up, it doesn't necessarily cancel out the other one. Like, if you have laser and you get a power-up, it will usually cancel out that, but if you have multi-ball like this, I don't believe getting something like slow like that causes all of the multi-balls to disappear. I don't believe that's how it works. But anyway, I guess that's how it works in the Super Nintendo version, because it just can't handle anything more than that. But anyway, Arkanoid is definitely one of it's definitely one of my favorite arcade games. I have really fond memories of playing it back in the arcade before I even really knew what it was. Because when I was a kid and I played games, I never really paid attention to what the names were. Like if I played it at a friend's house or I played it in an arcade or it was like a demo setup somewhere. I mean, when you're a kid, the first thing that you think of is, oh, let's remember the names so that, you know, in 10 years when I want to play it again, I can go out and buy it off eBay or something like that. When you're a kid, I mean, you just play the game, you enjoy it, and you hope that maybe someday you can go back and play the demo at the store again. You can go back and play the arcade game again. You never really think about it not being there someday when you want to go back and play it. So that's kind of the experience I had. I played Arkanoid at an arcade one day, and I mean, I had a lot of fun playing it, although I never really thought about what the name was. I mean, it's that game where the ball hits the blocks and they disappear. I mean, why do I even need to worry about the name? As long as I'm playing it and I'm enjoying it, who really cares? And then, of course, one day it was gone from the arcade, and I was really disappointed. I mean, this wasn't a very good arcade, so don't get your hopes up, because I've never actually had a really decent arcade near my house, unfortunately. But anyway, so yeah, one day it was gone, and I was just kind of like, crap, I don't really know exactly what game that was. I mean, when I say I was young, I was probably like, you know, 4 or 5 at the time, so barely even playing video games. Actually, that's a lie. I was playing video games at like the age of 2. Anyway, that pink, beige-ish, peach-colored B1 actually has something really cool, and it opens up the right side of the level, and it allows you to exit instantly and pretty much instantly beat the level, which is really neat. Anyway, this is a great level to have a laser. Spam, spam. I wonder if actually that's kind of what it does. It purposely gives you the laser easily. And it seems to be how this level has been set up, so that we can just kind of spam right up through the middle there. Because like I said, the silver gray blocks take multiple hits to destroy. Okay, so anyway. Oh, we do actually have some other power-ups in this level. What is this craziness? But overall, that was round 6, and that was actually not very difficult. So far, we have not died, although now that I have said that, you can be sure that a death will happen very soon. But yeah, anyway, that's just one of my crazy memories of playing games back in the day. It was, like, you know, when you play a demo in the store or anything like that, I just never really thought to think of the name, because I just never thought, you know, down the road I might actually want to find this game. I never knew there'd be things like the internet where I could instantly go look up what things were. And hey, there's an extra life. That gray P1 is what that was, which is pretty cool. And what the heck is even going on in here? There's, I haven't really addressed that there. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I almost really blew that one. There, whoa, 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 whoa. I was not ready for that. I thought it was going to go up, and then it clipped it, and I was trying to talk and then not pay attention. So see, I knew there was going to be a death in this level, but yeah, overall, there just wasn't things that I thought about back then, I guess. And well, overall, what I should be talking about is that, of course, in the arcade, Arkanoid uses a roller thing that, you know, you turn it left and right, and that is what kind of controls your vase paddle thing at the bottom of the screen. It's definitely not the same playing it with a D-pad. First of all, of course, it just doesn't feel the same. Although when you have the roller thing, the roller controls, you can move the vase a lot faster. Like, you could pretty much move from one side of the screen to the other in like half a second. Although here, I mean, you have to slowly move across the screen. Unless you can hold the B button to speed it up. How could I forget that, Andrew? Andrew, you are stupid. Because as soon as I mentioned that, I remember, oh right, there is a button to move it faster. Interestingly enough, I don't believe that the Super Nintendo version had, or ever came with an actual paddle kind of rotating controller, like the NES version did, which is actually pretty cool. I don't know why they never did that for the Super Nintendo version, unless they did, and I'm just completely messing that up too, which would not surprise me, because, I mean, today just seems to be one of those days where let's screw absolutely everything up in the video, Andrew, good job. Although actually, so far I'm doing much better than I thought it would be, because, you know, videos, things never seem to go as well as they do when you're not making a video. Everyone who's ever made a video game video will know exactly what I'm talking about. But anyway, and we have round 8. Don't remember exactly how many rounds there are in Arkanoid 2. I think there was definitely 40-something, I believe, in the first Arkanoid. Or was it 30-something? Man, I'm having a massive brain fart today. But overall, oh yes, let's get this. And I don't remember exactly what the D stands for, but it makes this happen, and it's usually pretty good. As long as one of them remains, you're okay. So, I say that, although it was just barely off. Darn it! But anyway... As I was saying, as long as one of them remains, you won't die. Although, right after I said that, I went and screwed it up. And wow, that was very close to hitting that one. But of course it didn't. And there's the end of that level. Well, this level looks like a really big jerk, because you kind of just have to get in that really small thing at the top, although as soon as you do that, the level's pretty much instantly over, because it's probably not going to come back out again. Although overall, Arkanoid was pretty much a ripoff of Breakout, which was a very similar game, and then after Arkanoid ripped off Breakout, a billion other things ripped off Arkanoid, which is kind of really funny. I mean, yeah, there's been a million clones of Arkanoid. I mean, even the BlackBerry phone messaging system thing comes with its own kind of rip-off version inside. At least the older versions of it did. Are there even Blackberries in the United States? I mean, they're made in Canada, so obviously quite a few people have them here. Hey, thank you for teleporting me inside there. I really appreciate that. Oh, and we're teleporting me back out. Darn it, although, as it is a Canadian thing, I don't know if a massive number of people in the United States actually have them. It's not something I've really actually ever asked someone who lives in the United States before. Although the iPhone is definitely, I see, one of the most popular phones out there, definitely because of the apps. I think that's what definitely makes it so popular. Not just because of the phone itself, which seems kind of neat, but overall, just the diverse selection of apps that you can get. Pretty much, if there's something you want, there's probably an app for it out there. So that I can understand is why most people definitely go for the iPhone and stuff like that. And then, I mean, people always get Android, and then they hear about apps coming out for the iPhone. Like, when's the Android version coming out? Well, I mean, that's what you get for getting an Android. No, actually, I don't really have any preference for anything, so I'm just joking about that. But anyway, that is why I think most people go for the iPhone. At least that's why I would go for the iPhone, because the apps look pretty cool on it. But anyway, back to the actual task at hand. So no, when you have the kind of piercing thing, it does not go through the gold blocks. Although, darn, how come I got an extra life completely took away all of my power-ups? Although, overall, there you go, round 10 down. We're just kind of strolling along here, not having too much of an issue at all. Whoa, world at level 11. We have a boss? This game has boss battles? So yeah, this game actually has boss battles, which is kind of funny. Overall, this... Whoa, okay, I was actually not 100% sure if getting hit killed you, or if it just kind of stunned you temporarily, but... now we know! And if Bill Nye has taught me anything, it's like, you need to know things. Actually, Bill Nye and G.I. Joe. Bill Nye always had that thing where it was like, did you know that? And then G.I. Joe is always like, knowing is half the battle. So, if G.I. Joe and Bill Nye ever teamed up, it would be absolutely incredible. But until that happens, we have to deal with this boss here. So, just let me see. Overall, not super difficult to dodge. For me, a guy who's played a ton of vertical shooters, dodging a few projectiles coming at me while trying to bounce this ball is not a super difficult task, although, whoa, now super crazy things are happening and I'm getting really scared. What the heck was that? Uh-oh. Let's see. So I guess that was just kind of a basic attack there. Nothing too big of a deal. Oh, and I just noticed, yeah, we actually have music in the boss level. Wow, they actually composed some music for this game, other than the kind of level introduction music. And that boss is dead, and it just kind of spews you right to the next level, which is kind of funny. That was interesting though. The first Arkanoid, other than the final boss, didn't have any bosses at all. I don't think I've ever played the arcade version of Doh It Again, so I don't know if the arcade version had bosses in it or not. But anyway, proceeding on. Overall, we have not had too much trouble. Like I said, I'm pretty good at Arkanoid. Actually, I don't usually do as well when I'm using a controller, although today seems to be my lucky day or something. Today has been good and bad as far as the video goes. Although as soon as I start saying that, I almost die, so I guess I should just stop. Oh, thank you for helping me get the ball up there. And here comes the piercing thing, which would be super cool. Let's destroy all of that. Please. There we go, there we go. Now, even 3D Dot Game Heroes, one of my favorite games, had a mini game inside of it called Blockout, which obviously is a ripoff of Breakout, which Arkanoid was a ripoff of. So I don't know if you'd call it a ripoff of Arkanoid or Breakout, if you just call it a Breakout Arkanoid ripoff thing. Who knows? But anyway, let's just go up here. You know what? There was also a Game & Watch, which was a lot like Arkanoid, although I don't remember exactly what the name of it was. Oh well. I know that it was in Game & Watch Gallery 3. But I've never actually seen or held the real version of it. Let's see, let's go up here. I actually wasn't really paying attention. What the heck was this level even supposed to be shaped as? Let's see, got that. And now that I'm moving faster, I don't think we'll ever die ever. Or maybe. We shall see anyway. Let's get the ball to go a little bit slower, although now we cannot catch it. Overall, catch is useful, but it's not something I usually worry about too much. I mean, it's really good if the ball is moving really fast, because then you can kind of just take a break for a second, although I guess you could always just pause it. Because, let's see. Obviously cannot pause the arcade version, so I'm sure there's no problem with pausing the Super Nintendo version. Yeah, obviously there's a pause in the arcade version that couldn't do that to you. But yeah, overall, I just have, like, so many memories of games back then where I played them. I know we're kind of going back to the subject again. And I just, for some reason, did not remember exactly what the name was. I remember the first place I ever actually played a Dreamcast was in a Costco when they had a demo of Sonic Adventure set up. And I didn't even really know what I was playing at the time. I just kind of played it and enjoyed it, although I never really took note of the name. I'm not really sure why I did that, because I mean, at that time, I was old enough that I really should have paid attention to what the heck it actually was I was playing. But yeah, it wasn't until I ended up getting Sonic Adventure DX quite a while later that I was like, oh, that was Sonic Adventure, and that was pretty cool. And it kind of reminded me of even playing that back then. But overall, I have a lot of crazy memories of playing games as a kid, and I also have memories of, like, games and things were different. I remembered things differently when I played them as a kid than they actually ended up being when I played them when I got older. I just have a lot of weird things like that. Like, I could swear one time as a kid, one of my weirdest memories, and this is kind of coming out of nowhere considering we're not playing anything that even resembles Mario 64, but I was playing a demo of Mario 64 in Toys R Us, and I could swear that I threw King Bob-omb off of the top of Bob-omb Mountain, and I accidentally fell off too, and when I saw him hit the ground, he accidentally broke on the ground. And I don't know, I guess, like, the game kind of glitched or something, and because usually when he hits the ground he just jumps back up, but I guess he might have glitched into the ground, or he broke or something, because I remember I saw, like, the crown and, like, a few other pieces of him all over the place, so he might have just glitched into the ground, or he might have actually broken or something. I was like, wow, that's incredible, and it's just one of those things. I always wonder if I just kind of imagine that, because obviously I've never been able to replicate that. And there's been other things like that too. But overall, just crazy childhood memories as a kid of playing video games as a kid. I guess that's just kind of what Arkanoid brings back. It's definitely one of those games I played at a very young age, and for many years didn't even really know what game it was until I finally found out a bit about it later on. I don't exactly remember when it was I remembered it, but overall, it's one of those crazy times. And there's other arcade games I had that problem with too, like Bust-A-Move and Buster Brothers, but overall, those are stories for another day. So let's see, I have 1 life left, although the question of the day is, do you get a 0? I've always hated that in video games, not remembering if you get a 0 or not. You kind of have to pay attention to how many lives you start the game with. And if you start the game with 2, you can assume that the game is giving you 3 lives, so that you'll that you'll have a 0. Although if the game starts you with 3, you can kind of assume that you don't get a 0 because the game probably wants you to have 3 lives. I don't know. Things are just too complicated in these old video games. Please give me the new video games, which are way less complicated. Anyway, the ball is just kind of having a lot of fun up there and not coming down where I can actually do anything with it. And well, it's going way too fast. Although hopefully we have a 0 life. Although overall, we actually have been doing pretty well. This is level, I think that says 14, although I can swear it was farther than that. Or is that a 9? I think that might actually be a 9. I don't even know. Anyway, let's get this back up here. I want to go in there! Keeps going up to the top where it gets stuck forever. Let's see, so yes, get that. Oh, extra life! There we go. I've been getting a lot of extra lives in this game. I'm pretty sure that the first Arkanoid was definitely not this kind of giving with the lives, and I highly doubt that the arcade version is like this either. Oh, well, it's a good thing that we got that light, because I kind of completely screwed that up right there. And let me go up here and hit that. And there is the piercing thing, which I unfortunately missed, because I had to choose either living or getting the piercing thing, and the piercing thing would not have done any good if I had died, so I probably made the right choice in the end, maybe. So come on, one more! Darn it, I hate when you want it to go one way and it accidentally goes the other. And now it's going to get stuck on the top for all eternity. Maybe. Almost. 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 Well, I guess we'll just sit here all day. Oh, darn it! Those things are turning into blocks up there. That is completely evil. I do not believe that there was an enemy that did that in the original Arkanoid. So darn, now I actually have... Now that I actually want to go up there, I'm never going to be able to hit those blocks, am I? This is really silly. Man, before I couldn't get out of up there, and now I can't get up there at all, which is really dumb. Come on, darn you! Go up there and hit the stinking block! At least I don't have to worry about the audio getting matched for copyright infringement, because there is no freaking audio except for the picking off of blocks. I thought there was someone out there who uploaded the video with just that sound, and it copyright infringed on that. Well, we are only at level 15. I thought we were farther than that for some reason, but anyway, let's get the multiple ball thing, and of course I got another thing which canceled that out instantly, which is kind of silly. And another extra life, yeah. I could swear that the game does not normally throw extra lives at you that massively, but anyway, let us continue on. Whoops! Don't know exactly what the heck I was doing there. Okay, so, let's see. What other crazy stories with Arkanoid can I tell? I can say that there are Arkanoid ripoff blocks inside of Yoshi's Island, which I am currently Let's Playing with Miles Luigi. Because, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Every time you throw an egg at it, it will change color, and I believe it starts at green, and you hit it with an egg and it will go to yellow, then you hit it with another egg and it will go to red, and then once you hit it again, it will disappear. So it's kind of funny that Yoshi's Island kind of took that. Yoshi's Island's a really fun game, and I actually did play the Game Boy Advance version once, although it was not as... Darn it, why the heck did I do that? I went for the laser. I really should have just tried to save the ball. I played it for Game Boy Advance. I think it was Random Game of the Day number 19. It's really funny to go back and watch some of my old videos. This seems to be the video about talking about old things. Some of my old videos were kind of funny. Some of my new videos are kind of funny too, but overall, some of my old ones... I mean, any person who makes videos must really feel weird when you go back and watch your old ones, just to see how far you've come. I always think it's funny when I go back and watch my very first Random Game of the Day. And just how much I've grown since then. And it's funny because YouTube videos, man, I really thought I had the edge of that. Yes, you do get a 0, thank goodness. I mean, YouTube videos, aside from just having a lot of fun making the videos, it really has helped kind of my confidence in speaking and stuff like that. So it's overall, making videos, aside from being fun, has been beneficial all around to me. So overall, useful side effects are always the greatest kind of side effects. Nobody wants those crazy negative side effects, like when you sit too close to the TV and it hurts your eyes. Is that true, or is that just another one of those lies, like tomato juice helps you get rid of the smell of skunks? Luckily, I've never been sprayed by a skunk, so it's not something I've really had to worry about. Although I'm pretty sure I heard that actually was a lie, and it was just invented by some guy out there to help sell his tomato juice. But anyway. Come on, hit this. Darn you jelly ball fish thing, which keeps teleporting it. Although, wow, you were actually helpful for once. I am impressed. And this is... Oh, I guess this is supposed to be shaped like a snail or something. That's kind of funny. Although, wait, why did I even shoot it up there? Because I'm not supposed to destroy any of those. I'm only supposed to destroy these gray ones. Which kind of makes the whole shape pointless, in a way. So this is kind of going to be the level of patience if it really gets stuck in there. That's not going to be super enjoyable, I have to say. Just waiting for hours and hours for the ball to come back out. I remember I had that trouble in the arcade version of Arkanoid once, because I actually do have the arcade machine in my basement now, which is kind of funny. Considering I was just talking about how all those years ago I wondered what it was, and now I actually own it. Although the one I played years ago was actually the tabletop version, where you looked down at it rather than mine, which is the cabinet version. Although I lost my complete train of thought, which is kind of funny. Oh yeah, in the arcade version, I actually one time did kind of get stuck, which was kind of funny, although I think after like 2 or 3 minutes it actually did come out. This is kind of a good display here about how when the ball bounces off things more and more, it will start to speed up, and that kind of screwed me over there. Although, there is the password for everyone at home who wants to play along. You saw how far I got, and if you say, oh, I don't want to play all the levels he just played, I guess you can take that password, and it might take you right to whatever level I just ended off at. I don't know, but anyway, I believe that is where we are going to end off today's random game of the day. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed seeing Arkanoid Doh It Again and hearing about all of my crazy stories. Hope I didn't ramble on too much. And feel free to share some of your stories in the comments about arcade games that you played back in the day, or maybe stories about playing a game and then having absolutely no idea what it was, and then going frantically on the internet many years later trying to figure out what it was, like I have done with some games today. That is always a lot of fun. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you next time for something else. So thanks, and hope to see you then.